Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, liberty and justice for all.
Ziggy, roll call.
Here. Councilmember Conrad Wolverine.
Here.
Councilmember Ritchie. Here. Mayor Theros.
Here.
Councilmember Donovan.
Here.
Councilmember Strolka.
Here. Do I have a motion to excuse Mayor Pro Tem Galuli from tonight's meeting? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 3, reading and consideration of the minutes of the regular meeting held on September 11, 2023. Any changes or comments on those minutes? Being none, they are approved as submitted. Item 4, presentation of a mayoral proclamation for the Daughters of the American Revolution's America 250 Patriot Marker at Joy Bells. Deanne, you want to come up and just give us a 3-minute recitation on the marker and our future celebration of the 250th anniversary of our country?
Sure, I can even do better than that. I'll do it in less than 3 minutes.
All right, beautiful. I'm trying to
Okay.
set the last speed record for the fastest council meeting ever had.
On behalf of the Louisa St. Clair Chapter, National Society, Daughters of the American Revolution, I would like to express our heartfelt appreciation for the support the entire community gave us in bringing a prestigious America 250 Patriots marker to Grosse Pointe Farms. The idea of placement of this marker came about a year ago with a discussion with a number of community leaders and Shane Leaside, our city manager, among others. Since that time, our community leaders, Mayor Theros, city manager Leaside, city council members, have all been exceedingly supportive of our effort to bring this marker. We are so very proud that Joy Bell Park and Grosse Pointe Farms is now home to an America 250 marker honoring Revolutionary War patriots who sacrificed their lives and fortunes to form our American government. As you know, we dedicated the marker on September 17th, Constitution Day, with many community members in attendance, including students and scouts who experienced firsthand patriotism and pride in their community. It's leaders like you who lead our community, who love it, and who are constantly working toward driving America forward every day. I look forward to working with all of you as we plan a fabulous 250th birthday celebration for our country on July 4th, 2026. It's just 999 days from today.
But who's counting?
You'll be hearing from me more on that topic soon, I hope. Thank you so very much for all of your support of the Daughters of the American Revolution, and specifically the Louisa St. Clair Chapter.
So how many 250 markers are there in the country right now?
In the country, there are about 48, I believe, and 4 of them have been placed at Veterans Parks in Michigan. This was the first one that was sponsored by a DAR chapter.
All right, so you have in front of you in this sheet, this proclamation. And part of it is declaring a few weeks late, unfortunately,
It's okay.
September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week here in Grosse Pointe Farms, and acknowledging that we have dedicated a 250 Patriot marker at Joy Bells Park to commemorate our 250th birthday of our country. So I will take a motion to approve the resolution as submitted on this the white sheet. We just got this.
Make that motion.
Anybody support? Support. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Dan, we have to make a correction on what I signed, so I'll get you, we'll make sure you get the other one.
Okay,
When we do it. All right.
awesome. Thank you all so
Thanks
much.
for coming in. Appreciate
Appreciate
your
it.
support. Thank you. Item 5, the consent agenda. Does anybody want anything removed from the consent agenda for individual consideration? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Reports, you have the public safety report, and I noticed only one car with the keys left inside that was broken into. People are listening, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. All right, other business, Mr. Reside.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I just have a few dates for everyone to put on their calendar or to be aware of. Next Monday, a week from today, we'll start our curbside leaf collection. There was a notice sent out via constant contact on that, and remind people that leaf collection is the day after your normal rubbish pickup. And we kind of remind people too, please don't put leaves to the street in advance. You can do it the morning of collection, but by putting them out too early, they tend to collect rain and cause other issues. So we ask you for the cooperation on that. Second is Wednesday, October 25th. The administration will be holding a public meeting at the Pier Park on proposed paddleball courts. That will be at pickleball courts. That will be at 7 p.m. And that will be an informative meeting where the city administration will provide plans that are proposed for pickleball at Pier Park and afford residents an opportunity to provide input. On October 28th will be our Household Hazardous Waste Day. That will also be held at Pier Park from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And last, and also at Pier Park, will be our general election on November 7th. And as I recall, all precincts will be voting at the community building for that election. That's all I have, unless there's any other questions.
I do have a question regarding the pickleball meeting. We're not going to be voting that.
No, it's strictly informative meeting, really is an opportunity to show kind of the thought process and developing the plans and giving residents an opportunity to review those plans and offer input.
I just have a quick question. Hazardous waste, that's separate from electronic disposal. When is the next electronic disposal? Do you have a rough idea?
It would be next year.
So it would be next fall?
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe we're doing 2 now a year, so we'll have to review it. The new contract, we have a spring and a fall, also hazardous, so it may be the spring, so we can, I think it may be up in May, so we'll verify that.
Absentee ballots can be dropped off at the white box anytime.
They can be brought in, there's a box inside City Hall, or they can be dropped off at the drop-off box, right in the parking lot, yes.
And those are going to be, you've got them out now, so they can be turned in anytime.
Anytime, yes.
Anything else from council? Nope, go ahead.
I'll just say, can we go to the question part or go to the
No, we're
other business?
other business.
Oh, I just want to say, it's a fitting opportunity. I'm glad that we got a chance to celebrate Constitution Week. I just want to say Happy Indigenous Peoples Day to everyone. It's a good day and a good reminder of people that were here before. Many of us were here and are still here today. So Happy Indigenous Peoples Day.
Right, anybody in the public have anything for public comment, other business? Paper, rock, scissors. Corinne, let's go, you win.
Good evening,
No.
Corinne Martin, 296 Chalfont. Haven't seen anybody for a while, so I'm glad to be back. I'm sorry, I've been super busy, which is what I'm here to talk about. Everybody knows who I am, right? So I wanted to tell you where to start. There's 2 parts to this. We'll start with the Grosse Pointe Shores situation, which I believe you're all aware of. So
Pitbulls. In case the people in the audience don't know.
Pitbulls, yes. So for the past 25, 30 years that Grosse Pointe Animal Adoption Society has been in business, and we've been in the animal shelter since 2012. So our service agreements, not contracts, but service agreements have been with the city of Parker Woods, city of Grosse Pointe Woods, and the city of Grosse Pointe Shores. And those were official service agreements that we had to shelter all of their animals that were lost, found, stray, injured, wildlife, veterinary care, whatever was needed. We have, in addition to that, always served the farms, the city, and the park, but as a backup, because Dr. Herzog at Grosse Pointe Animal Clinic for the past 40 years has been providing sheltering services for the city, the farms, and the park. So I think everyone's aware of that. In June of this year, Dr. Herzog sent out a letter to all of the directors of public safety announcing that he would no longer be offering sheltering services as of September 30th. And I actually met with the directors, hoping that, we could all come up with a solution, because basically the whole thing would fall onto Grosse Pointe Animal Adoption Society. And as much as we want to rise to the occasion, we would be unable to, because we're at full capacity now as a non-euthanasia animal shelter. So it was a big problem. Grosse Pointe Shores had a city council meeting where they met 3 times over 3 months. And they decided, based on an incident that occurred in Grosse Pointe Shores with the Detroit Lions girlfriend's dog that was a pit bull, they decided to institute an ordinance which would prohibit any pit bull from being in the city. And in addition to that, they put very serious constraints on their residents that were already existing that owned pit bulls, to the point of erecting 6-foot fences with tops on them, muzzling the dog when they went for a walk, etc. So there's been a huge upset about it. Michigan, do you want me to keep 3 minutes?
You're gonna have 3 minutes,
Okay, I'm sorry.
but that doesn't give you 30.
Anyways, I just want to be clear on it because it's such a hot topic in the cities. At any rate, they went ahead with their pit bull ban, which handicapped us as an animal shelter. So we terminated our service agreement with Grosse Pointe Shores, sadly. So Grosse Pointe Shores at this time has no animal services whatsoever, which I feel terrible about. The other problem is that in addition to Grosse Pointe Shores not having services, the farms, the city, and the park do not have a service agreement with anyone at this time, since Herzog has terminated his. So what I'm here to tell you is that our board of directors met last week. We will provide Grosse Pointe Farms with a service agreement, which I plan to give to your director in the next week as soon as I get it done. We have been taking animals from the farms and will continue to, but we're taking them on a case by case, and we don't have an actual agreement about it. But we will, if you all would like it, we will agree to take on the farms. So that means you will have a place to take your animals, whether they're lost, stray, injured, wildlife, whatever, we will provide those services.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, and we'll look forward to the draft agreement, and we'll take the director's comments on that, and I'm sure the council will take.
Yeah, I figured if I'm gonna live in the city, I can't very well go around the city and not be providing the service. And I'm expecting, of course, that I won't receive any tickets.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'll look forward to it. Thanks for the work that you do for.
Anybody have any questions, or we're good?
I just have a question. So when you terminated your agreement with the Shores, was that due to the policy on the breed bans? And I know, as I understand, the Woods has a similar, or has a breed ban, is that correct?
That is
So
correct.
do you have a relationship with the Woods, or how does that work?
We have a very good relationship with
Okay.
Grosse Pointe Woods.
So was the difference the additional strictures on residents that was the problem?
Yeah, and the fact that, I shouldn't say this, but Grosse Pointe Woods does not actively enforce their pit bull ban.
Yeah, I've had, we'll get into the issue if we ever have to have one of the
Yes.
breed bans, but I'm not supportive.
We don't know. We debated this 15 years ago, Don't need to do anything, our existing ordinance is pretty good.
The vicious dog ordinance is sufficient for any breed.
Great, that's what we have. All right, thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
Andy, come on up.
Just update on the last month ran on Fisher Road flooding. Any updates at all, Shane?
Yes, yeah, last month, I know we had a couple of residents on Fisher that spoke who experienced flooding in, again, early August, when we had approximately 1 inch of rain over an hour period. We kind of look at that, those homes, there's an area that obviously we found a history where they've had repeated basement floodings, even under less conditions than that happened last month. So what we've done is we've worked with our HOC. They kind of looked at our plans for that line, kind of looked at what was going on. We consulted with our Public Works Department, Tom Joy, our supervisor, who has quite a bit of experience with the city sewer system, and it came up with what we think is the lowest cost, most immediate fix for the issue, and that is adding restricted catch basins in that area on Fisher Road.
Already there. They're 2011 for the flood.
Yeah, well, we actually, last month, we added in that area where we had flooding, there were the catch basin covers there, were covers that had 30 openings
Where?
along on Fisher, and that, within that, the stretch of those, where those homes are.
You gotta tell me, because they've been,
Yeah.
in front 302 has been 6 for over 10 years.
I verified that today, I know for sure. I talked to Tom Joy today, he went out with another crew. There was actually a half a dozen catch basins that did not have restricted covers in that area. So the idea is to slow water going into the system around those
I'd
homes.
like to know where those.
Let me finish, Andy.
Yeah, we've always been civil, so it's.
So the objective is to slow the water going into the system, in those areas. Obviously the downsides is there's a potential for short-term street flooding in front of those homes. But I spoke with both the homeowners that were here last month. I've discussed it with them. They've agreed as a first step that is worth trying. It's at least efficient. It doesn't interrupt them and having to do, there's other things that could be explored, which they would rather not do at this time. They want to try this as a first method.
I just like to know which ones, because I think they're all there a long time, that's why I'm
Okay,
asking.
no, I assure you they weren't, but I'll provide you specifically where those addresses are.
Because they were there, because I questioned Joe Leonard in 2012 after the floods, like, Joe, explain about these things, well, we don't really know, but we think we've experienced as putting these helps. Because our house is one, it always floods, but it's like, okay, fine, rather have the street flood than our basement flood, and it just catches up a little bit, so I'm just kind of curious.
Okay, I will find out, and I know that was in conjunction, there was communication that went back and forth between our Public Works Department and with Upper Alton Clark, and specifically what catch basins we did transition.
I would have got to know that, because, and this Pat, I talked about today, she goes, those don't look new, that's why I'm asking, that's why.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, meeting adjourned. Happy Halloween, everybody. Coming up. Be safe.